Welcome to episode 28 of the Native Overstayer podcast. Jack, how are you, cuz?
Yeah, I'm good, guys.
Good. Good
28.
28.
It's a good number. 28. I think the same age as our guest. Sounds about his age.
I'll tell you one thing, mate. When you talk about combat sports in New Zealand, there are always some names that come to the forefront, right? There's the Tua, Cameron, with Tua.
Yep.
There's Parker.
Yep.
There's Sifu. There's Hunt.
Yep.
And then we have this legend that's with us today, Jason the Psycho Suttie. Sir, thank you very much for coming in, Uzu.
Welcome, thanks for asking.
No, man, it's a real honour for us to have you here, bro.
But I have to ask, were you born in Samoa?
No, my dad's English, Scottish,
Yes.
white Kiwi, and yeah, born here.
Born here in New Zealand.
Born here, but when we were young, man, I went there when I was 6 months.
Okay, yes.
And we just went every Christmas. My dad was telling me it was not easy to get used there. It was a lot of money.
Yeah.
But we went every third Christmas.
Third Christmas.
Till I was about 16, and then after I was 16, man, I just started going there on my own.
Yeah, nice.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Where's Mum's village in Samoa?
Suttie, which is in Arval,
yeah.
which is in Suttie.
Yeah, it's like, nice.
It's a beautiful part of the world, Suttie, yeah.
Sure is,
It's
man.
like going back in time over
Sure
there, right?
is. I could live there right now, honestly.
Yeah.
But it's just making my 4 kids stay there and my wife, you know.
4 kids. Your fighting journey, that's what you're most known for, is your kickboxing.
Yep.
And it started in that little gym at Good Shepherd, Balmoral.
Under Balmoral, under the church, yeah.
Yeah. That place was it's quite deceiving, because it's a little tucked away gym, but it was producing. You
wouldn't think that all the fighters that came out of that gym. Well, because when you go there, you can't even see the gym.
Can't even see the gym.
It's what is it? The storage place or whatever underneath a church. But you know, at one stage, if there was 10 New Zealand champs in all different weights, 8 of them were from that gym.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that down to the way Lulu was training you guys, or
he was just a man. He was I think at that time he was ahead of himself. You know, like at that time I guess from looking at his students, he was teaching everyone a lot better than anyone else was teaching them.
Yeah.
I mean, there are gifted people, but for that many, 8 out of 10 champions.
Incredible, eh?
For a long time. That was probably for a good, 6 to 10 years. There was always a champion from our gym.
Yeah. Did you take your fighting skills off the street and into that gym? Is that what happened? Or?
Yeah. Learning how to fight taught me how not to fight. Definitely, 100%.
Oh yeah. Your whole life would have been different if you might not have discovered that gym, yeah.
Definitely, yeah. But so I started in Thailand. That was my.
Did you?
Yeah.
Exchange student, weren't you?
Exchange student, yeah.
And tell us about that, bro.
So what had happened was I was, at school we had a little gang.
St. Paul's.
Yeah, we had a little gang, and we just used to catch up. It was a school gang.
Yeah.
That's it. We just made it up. We didn't really. We'd hang in the weekends. We didn't have a club or anything. We had someone's house. We'd chip in, get someone to buy a piss. We'd drink on Friday or Saturday, and then Monday to Friday back to school. Then the gang wasn't in school.
How old were you then?
15, 16. Yeah, 15, 16. Yeah. But what happened is we were having a lot of street fights. And some of them were getting quite serious, and I was thinking, we're getting older now. I thought, man, someone's going to get killed. But then there was this group, and I think there was this group, I think it was Lolo, not Lolo, because he was a bit older than him, maybe his younger brothers, but they got into a few street fights, and they'd already started kickboxing.
Yeah.
So I just thought, oh shit, it's here, this thing's here, we're going to... I'm already behind them, so what I'll do is I'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I'll apply for this American Field Scholarship,
nice.
where you get to go overseas and practice, the language for 1 year. But in my, on the backside of that, I'll go and learn Thai boxing over there, and I'll go learn from the motherland because these people are already in front of me, but they're taught by Kiwis, right? So I'll get ahead of them because I'm already behind them in time. I'll go to the motherland. I'll learn Thai boxing from them. So my plan was originally just so I can survive in the street. I had one fight over there, and I was the first of any exchange student to ever fight over there, and the last, because then they realised, whoa, that's really dangerous. Because I fought a full professional Thai.
Really?
5-3s, elbows, knees to the head, and he'd had about 30 fights. It was my first fight.
Wow.
So then I came back after that 1 year, and I jumped in to the gym with Lolo, and in my first year I had 10 fights. I got a New Zealand amateur title and 2 South Pacific titles. But that was it, man. Like, now I had become confident because I knew how to fight. And then I realised, oh, actually, maybe I was just scared. I didn't realise that then, but I can tell you now,
Scared in Thailand?
Just at school.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Just not confident, didn't know if I could beat this guy up. So when he challenges me, I've got to fight him to prove it. But then when I learned how to fight, like that first year, I realised, I can fight. I'm good at it. I don't need to prove it. But when I was at school, it was always a challenge, and I never knew. And I thought if I didn't fight, then that guy's going to think I'm scared, so I got to fight. You know. And I had a bad temper. I was a small Samoan, a half-caste Samoan, so I didn't like the white people because they thought I was the islander, and I didn't like the islanders because they called me Palangi. So I was just all mixed up in my head, and I just used to take it out on fighting a lot.
But we talk about the same thing. I mean, Jack is Māori Samoan. Up north he's called a coconut. Down here he's called a hori. You know, I'm Palangi Samoan. I'm never considered as a Samoan because of my fair skin. But, you know, it's in my blood. So there were always those frustrations for us.
So you know what I'm talking about, man.
I know what you're talking about. But we never went down your path.
you have a problem with your own people. Because your own people aren't accepting you as them, as theirs. And for me, so I was just, and I was a chicken, and I had a bad temper. So just that just went on for years, and it slowed down as I was fighting. The better and better that I became a fighter in the ring, the less and less I fought out of the ring.
I guess the big thing as well is it sort of highlights what they call colorism, right? And that whole discrimination or racism that happens within groups. So, for example, all of us, we're quite fair-skinned Afakasi Samoans. So you're either looked down by other Samoans, and it happens across most groups. So it's an interesting sort of dynamic because it's like, well, you know, you can have racism between groups, but you can have it within groups. Just by the colour of the skin. So it's something that, you know, we all...
What is that called? Colorism?
Colorism.
Colorism.
It's interesting too. So
Colorism.
Colorism,
Thank you, I've learned something today.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
See, the boys I used to know and hang out with that knew you, they would say, Jason Suttie doesn't care how big you are or how many of you there are. We'll try and take you out.
Those days.
It
helped. So I met like heaps of like old school boys, you know, and then you know you get the islanders that they might talk shit to you because you're a half caste, and then you end up smashing them over, whatever, and then they're like, oh, he's a naughty boy. He's a naughty boy. He's like, I was just a half caste before I gave you hiding, and now I'm a naughty boy. But so those ones, now when I saw them years later, and then they go, oh, you're fighting. I always knew you were going to be a fighter, Jason. No one was surprised.
That was your passion.
Mate,
I'm just looking at your resume here, Us. There's a lot of titles on there, bro, and they were in different divisions. Right?
I started from 76, 78, 79, 86, 95, and then super heavyweight.
Those are all the weights, obviously. Right?
So, you know, 76 kilograms is someone this big, and then super heavyweight is someone that big. But I just went up because man, I started at 95 kilograms, you know, because when you're at school, you're playing rugby and league, and you pump weights.
You're a swimmer as well, weren't you?
Drink. I was swimming champ through what do you call it? Just at my school, so from Westmere Primary to St. Paul's.
Nice.
You know, when you get a lot of school of islanders in the island and the sea. Well, a lot of them can't swim.
Yeah.
So I was a half caste. So I was a good swimmer compared to them. That's why I won. That's why I won school. But when I used to go to the meetings with all the other schools, I was about fifth.
Okay.
Yeah. So I never ever got first, second, or third. I was always fourth or fifth.
Probably about 10 places ahead of the other islanders.
Never made it in. Yeah.
I can understand. Yeah.
That's so cool. There's so many levels in your being or who you are. I mean, you even got a BA in university.
Yeah. Bachelor of Arts.
So you went and studied. Yeah. What was that? What prompted you to do that?
Well, no. So I wanted to be a policeman from about 10 years old, and then my dad was a bank manager. He goes, if you become a policeman, you're gonna have no friends because you're gonna judge all your friends. And then I got in trouble one weekend, and then there's this policeman give me hiding, and then I was like, fuck that, don't like you guys. And then I changed to, I was going to go become a lawyer. I wanted to become a lawyer.
Nice. Yeah.
And then I met Thai boxing. Final year of school, I was like, fuck that, all I want to do is Thai boxing. All I want to do is Thai boxing. And then I changed my thing from law to a Bachelor of Arts, because you can get out in 3 years.
Okay. Yeah.
I failed one paper, stage two, so I had to do a whole extra year for the extra paper. But I did a Bachelor of Arts, major in education, man. But when I was in university, man, lunchtime I'll go do a 10k run, and I had a mate there who used to hold pads, Greg Nesbitt, and I'd say, can you meet me in the squash courts?
Nice.
And then we'd do rounds, man. That's all I used to do, train. I'll just lunchtime I'll run 10k, meet him, do 5 rounds in the gym, in the squash courts. Yeah. And then evening back to uni, and in the evenings training and study. And I used to work on the doors Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I used to do 30 hours. I was telling my daughter that just the other day, because she was like, trying to get grants and stuff for university. I said, mate, just think about that. You have to go to work. We'll look after your feet. Yeah. But you got to look after your living and that. I said, man, I work 30 hours a week. So I've just gone through this conversation with my daughter, who's going to university next year.
So the Thai kickboxing, obviously, and your university, you had to figure out a way to make money from it, right?
Okay, Okay, so I went to Thailand, and then I changed that degree to Bachelor of Arts. I came back. I trained with Lolo now. Yeah. I had one fight in Thailand, which is the full professional fight. I didn't know that. So listen to this. I didn't know this at all.
You didn't know it was a professional
fight? So what you do when you're a Thai boxer in New Zealand, what I learned, like after coming back to New Zealand after 3 or 4 years, is that you train up and you get a New Zealand title in that, and then you might turn pro, and then before you retire, you want to fight a Thai. Before you retire, right? So you're at the end of your career. So I was there, and I was like, kickboxing, I had heaps of street fights. I'll do it. And then there was all we had to ask the organisation. It's a massive organisation. It's like 300. There was about 300 students there my year from all over the world, and no one ever fought. So they had to ask permission. Then they asked the leader, the boss of AFS. Then they asked New Zealand. Then they asked my parents. Both sides. They both said because I wanted to do it. Yeah. And then I found out, it's going to be 5-3s, elbows, knees. And I was like, had no idea that this was full professional rules.
What are 5-3s?
Just 5 3-minute rounds. Oh, okay. But we started on 3 2-minute rounds. Yeah. And the guy, and then there was all these banners around town. Jason Suttie from New Zealand fighting Manunchai, and I had no idea, man. Which was good. Ignorance is bliss. Didn't freak me out. I was like, sweet, sweet, let's go. And then I fought him, did 5 rounds. I lost. And my trainer, my poor trainer, he was at like a AUT. It's like after school, but not a university, and it was a physical education college. So he taught gymnastics in the day in the daytime, and in the morning he taught the poor kids Thai boxing, morning and night. So I jumped in with them. It was like 500 meters from my house. We do 10 kilometers in the morning, 3 kilometers in the evening, and you train. And he's like, I bet all my money, I bet my 1 month money on you. So after the fight, we're eating in this, we're eating like noodles that cost like 50 cents. I ate noodles every day, every single day for 10.5 months. And they're so delicious. It's like a $12, like a $12 here, but it was 50 cents there. And he's telling me, he goes, Jason, see that place over there, the aircon place? If you won, we would have been eating there, but you lost. So I lost all my wages, so we're eating here.
So in that fight, your first fight, was it like you see on TV and that? Was it the noise of people?
Yeah, hard out.
How intimidating was that for you?
I was alright.
You were
I was alright. I was nervous. I remember I was nervous. I was excited to fight. I was nervous because I remember I didn't sleep much the night before. But I was fine, man. I was fine once I get in there, man. I mean, once the round starts, it was another fight. I was just fighting, and I think it was good that I didn't know that in New Zealand we're all starting on 3-2s, and we don't start with elbows, and we don't start with knees to the head. So it was kind of good. So I didn't know any of that. So it didn't scare me. It was just, it would be the same as a Kiwi coming in to their first fight. I had the same nerves.
Sure.
I didn't have any nerves because I didn't know that elbows. He could slice me. He could break my nose, split my head open, as has happened later as a professional. So ignorance will save me. I remember, I tell you what. So I stayed there for 10.5 months. At 5.5 months, no matter how tough I was crying at 5.5 months, and I wanted to go home because in this area, there's 1 million people in the northeast that long ago. That's 30 years ago. They knew all the foreigners. Of this 1 million people, they knew who the foreigners were and where they lived. So they knew there was Jason over here, there was a girl there at this house, and the girl at this house, and there's some workers that live at this house. That's how many foreigners there were. There was a dozen. Now there's hundreds of them there. So there was no one that spoke English, man. No one that spoke English. My mother always used to speak to me, and it used to annoy me, but she's so beautiful. I love her. We get on really well now. And I couldn't speak to anyone. It was so frustrating. And then 5.5 months I was crying. 6 months, boom, I had it, man. I was the best speaker of all these 300 students when we used to have dinners. And they'd always ask, Jason, can you come and do a speech? And then I'd do a speech from the kids. There wouldn't be all 300 of us, but then there'd be groups of like 40 different meetings, and I'd be doing the speeches.
You'd be speaking Thai?
Yeah, I'd be doing the speeches from the students to the parents and that.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
It's like that movie with, shucks. He goes and lives with barbarians. And most of the movie, he's hearing them talking their own language. But then he spends enough time with them, and then there's
13th Warrior.
Yeah, 13th Warrior.
I've seen that. That's awesome.
That's your story also.
Yeah.
And then you got the language, and obviously understood it, and wow.
And my Thai still today is my accent is good. You know, Ta Pombai Patet Thai called Kitwa Pombin Ko Thai. So if I go to Thailand, they think that I'm Thai, and I'll say, no, I'm not Thai, and they'll be like. Some of them like give me the dirty, like, look at this guy. He's been overseas, now he's back.
He's come back
and he's trying to bullshit that he's not a Thai. I'll get like that.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I have to. And if I can be bothered, I'll say, no, I'm really not a Thai, and I'll explain to them a little bit more.
Wow. If you can be bothered.
Oh,
just That's a cool story, bro.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
You need to start to make a movie, bro. It'll be pretty impressive. Who were your heroes growing up?
Bruce Lee. Definitely Bruce Lee. Rocky Balboa. Bruce Lee, Rocky Balboa, that's it.
Yeah. They're pretty much standard.
I watch all of
Islanders.
All of those movies, man. Yeah. I've been actually putting them and making my kids watch them now.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. They like it. They like it. You know, it's good. Like And you know, I can sit with for hours because he wakes up early, Phoenix, and we're watching. I love that he loves watching fighting movies. He loves watching fighting. Nice. But on my 2 kids is a 6 and a 4-year-old who always fight. Okay. I see them play fighting, and I see them going, I was so happy.
Look at
hard out, you know.
Yeah. Speaking of your boy Phoenix, how is he?
He's good, man. He's really good. I don't know. Lately, in the last month, he's had a few more seizures than usual, but they've stopped by themselves, which is not normal. So we don't know what's going on there. But he's been having this. It's like an iPad. It's called an eye gaze machine, and so you look at. So for him, for other people like Putty, he can spell things on it. Yeah. And he makes sentences and words. I mean, Phoenix isn't that good at reading and run yet, but. There'll be different things. So last week, one of my sons slammed his finger in the door. Yeah. And it looked pretty bad. So we were like, take him to A&E. So Mum took him to A&E. When he left, Phoenix was talking with his nanny. And he pointed to a finger, bleeding finger, and he goes, "Doctor, sore, hospital."
Nice. Wow.
Pretty amazing, man. Yeah. He's only been... I mean, we always talk to him and we show him words and that. We've shown him all his life. Yep. He's 7, he's 8 in October. Wow. But he's only been looking at the eye gaze machine this year, so it's pretty cool. It's a really good machine. Like, that's not a coincidence. Yeah. You know? Yeah.
What has Phoenix got, if you don't mind?
It's cerebral palsy. He's got brain damage over all parts of his brain.
Okay. Yeah. That's a beautiful journey that you're having with your son, bro. Yeah. I watch your journey on Facebook and I'm like, man.
I wish I didn't have to go through it, or I wish he didn't have to go through it.
Yeah. Watch your kids.
Really, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But you're doing a good job also. You're a blessing to him.
We're doing it. We got a good connection.
Yeah. And you do a lot of fundraising for him and stuff like that.
We got a good community, man.
Right, your community is.
We got a good
dangerous looking community also.
Yeah, you know, we've had fundraisers, and you know, like me and Shane Cameron, I called him over. We did it with these big boxing gloves, and then I got all these. You know, like we're fighters.
Yeah.
But when we do a fundraising.
Yeah.
Like all the gyms come and they've helped us out. Yeah.
It's beautiful, bro. Yeah, I keep saying that tonight, but it is a beautiful thing. Yeah, we came to I came to Sport Buddy when you guys did the fundraiser for
the bike ride. Yeah,
the bike ride. Yeah. And man, I couldn't believe I came with my brother-in-law Stephen, and I was blown away, bro, by the love by these guys that look pretty rugged. Why and how did you start ETK?
Oh man, I had all these. Yeah, ETK. Oh man,
How long have you had it for now?
1999.
What?
Yeah, so we're 21 years this year.
That's unusual for a gym to last that long, bro.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Value, bro. It's value,
yeah. No, we done good. I think it will go a lot longer. Yeah. My mate Billy Scannon, he lived on the shore and he goes, I've got your place. He just went and got it for me because he wanted me to live next to him. So he went and got this warehouse and I had a bedroom upstairs, so that I would live over there. So we started over there, and then we had a 2-year lease on that. Yeah. After 1 year, man, I had 6 people training inside and 10 people training outside because we had no room.
Yeah. Wow.
So we cut the lease. I can't remember how, but we cut the lease short, and then I moved to Newmarket, and then we blew up in Newmarket, and that was it. Yeah. But you know, within 1 year, man, I had more people training outside than inside because they couldn't fit inside.
Yeah. That's because of your name and reputation again, right?
Yeah.
Would that be right?
Yeah.
Jason Suttie, the guy on the front of the, what was it, 8 o'clock or the Sunday News?
Yeah.
Remember that famous photo? 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, yeah. And then you went on to create King of the Ring?
Yep. So I just went up in weights because when you get a world title, you think that everyone's going to fight you because, man, you get to fight the world champ, you're going to make some money, right?
Yeah.
So I got a world title at 76. No one want to fight. Well, I was good, strong at my weights. Yeah. 78, 78, no one, 86. And then when I went to heavyweights, 95, then they started getting a few challenges.
Really?
Because in their brain, they're thinking, I remember Jason Suttie. He's he's a super middleweight. I'll fight him. Oh, no one want to fight him.
Yeah.
And even in the heavyweights, man, took me about 18 months. Then no one will fight me in the heavyweights. once I was in, I think it was Hamner Springs in the South Island. And I was at these hot pools, and this guy goes, he was about 50, 60 years old, European guy, and he was working at the pools. He goes, "Are you watching the rugby, mate?" I said, "Nah." Who's playing? He goes, "Oh, you know, watch rugby." "Oh, what sport do you play?" I go, "Well, kickboxing." He goes, "Jason Suttie." That's what he said to me. No, he didn't know it was me. He just associated
your name
kickboxing with, and he goes, "Jason Suttie." And I go, "Oh yeah, that's me." He goes, "Is that you?" "Okay, yeah, that's me." He goes, "You look a lot bigger on TV." But the thing is, bigger, smaller. Is everyone's really big.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I look a lot bigger, that's right. Everyone's really big, so it made me look a lot smaller.
Yeah.
And then, you should have told me, I would have got you for it. So that was probably, so I still remember it today, that's probably my biggest compliment ever. Because this was a white guy, white older European like my dad, that you would never think would be watching kickboxing, and he just associated the word kickboxing with Jason Suttie. That was, for me, that was huge. Probably my biggest compliment ever when I was fighting.
To elevate the sport to that level, it's amazing.
Anyway, so then I fought through that. I retired. Sport got the sport got taken off TV. There was no more kickboxing on TV, and my goal was to get my sport back on TV. And then with my wife, we started, it was King of the Ring, and then we found out that you couldn't trademark it because WWF owns it, and they're a really big company, so we changed it to King of the Ring.
One people you don't want to take on, right? The WWE.
No way. You're hard out. And then about 3 years later, man, got my sport back on TV, and my goal was just to give these, my goal was to show our fighters off to the rest of the world, but to give them the privileges that TV gave me, just to, to go into a bar or to, to get your beer for free, or just little privileges like that, or hey, Jason, how many friends you got? Come to the front of the line. So this is what we used to do. This is really silly. We'd go out of town, and we'd be 4 or 5 friends, and there'd be a big queue, and they'd go, "Jason, go walk past the bouncer, go walk past the bouncer." So I walked past the bouncer once, "Hey Jason," but you know what happened? After I retired, about 5 years down the track, I walked past the bouncer, I go back to the back of the, he doesn't recognise me. He's too young. He's too young. I don't think he watched I don't think he watched the K1. But
kick him in the leg.
That was our trick, man. My friends, one of my friends said, "Go Chase, walk past." So just little privileges like that, and it happened. Like I get fighters coming out to go, "You know what, man? My Facebook, it only had 100 followers. Now it's got 500 followers," or something like that. "Oh man, I couldn't buy any drinks at the bar because they kept giving me," like that's a buzz.
This is what you gave them.
That's a buzz. What they gave themselves, but I gave them the opportunity, the platform, by putting them on TV. So at one stage, corporate boxing was getting so big in New Zealand, really big, and then all heaps of guys were going because heaps of girls were going dressed up. So this was my idea. I mean, my wife, she polished it, and she cuts and polishes it and makes it so that it stays on TV. But I was like, okay, all right. Everyone's leaving now my sport to go to corporate boxing just for the girls. Okay, so let's make downstairs VIP like the corporate boxers. We'll have all the normal people, because some people don't want to pay. Let them stay upstairs. And at first, you're going to kickbox. I say, "But guys, please, can you dress up while I go?" And they go, they don't want to. I say, "Look, man, just please, just enjoy it. This is our night." And then, by the third of, I get fighters, our popular Kiwi fighters are going, yeah, man, I'm dressed up. I've got a suit on, Jason. Then it became our night out to dress up. Where we're not embarrassed to dress up. Where it was cool to dress up because it's our sport. And then that's what I tell them. I say, I want to show my sport the best that we can to the public. And we'll have them both. If you don't want to dress up, sit upstairs. Want to spend this money, you want to come with your kids, but let's so then we're matching. So it's just worked really well.
It's a really well run event, man. That's when I was there, Jonah was there as well as Mark Hunt.
Jonah wanted to fight.
Hey,
he wanted to fight, man.
Tuna.
Yeah, he was training. I think he was training with Lolo. He was training with Lolo.
Oh, okay.
But he wanted to fight, eh?
Yeah.
He wanted to fight.
He would have been something, I think, if he hadn't
for
been
sure
taken down with that illness, that power, that way.
And he was always good, you know. Like Jonah would always dress like I'd ask him, like at the first, because no one was really dressing up. But I'd ask David, Shane, and Jonah, and they would always dress up sharp.
Sharp,
I said,
real sharp.
Because I said, look, you can dress whatever you can wear whatever you want. I'm not, but just so the other people, when they see you, they don't say to me, oh, but what about him? What about,
Yeah. One question I do have to ask you there, Jason, was that fight between Israel and Patti.
Yeah.
There was more to it than, that fight where he got knocked out.
Yes. So what happened there was the guy, so Patti had lost his second fight to Mark Timms, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And so I think it was maybe Mark Timms was supposed to fight Israel, but he was too injured from that fight, so he didn't want to fight.
Was it an Australasian fight?
Yes, it was an Australasian night.
Yeah.
So then we go down to the guy. So then you go down to then there was another guy that we asked, oh, do you want to fight? Because Patti lost his fight.
Yeah.
And you ask on that side, and he didn't want to fight.
Yeah.
So then I went back to Patti and I said, look, man, it's our show.
Yeah.
It's our show. Can you do this final, please? Look, but it's our show, man. It's going to be a shit final if there's no final. He goes, yeah, sweet, let's do it.
Yeah, yeah.
So there was two people in front of him in the order of wins and losses, but they didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
The guy that's supposed to fight him didn't want to do it. The next one didn't want to do it. And so Patti did it. So that's why we had a final.
Yeah. Saved the night, eh?
Saved the night.
And he got annihilated.
And Israel remembers him for that because, he wouldn't have been the king in the ring if he didn't have 3 fights in the night,
Well, Patti went out like a soldier, bro.
Yeah.
He didn't back down. He was even giving Israel up at a lip.
So they got a strong connection, stronger connection after that.
Yeah, well, that's respect amongst warriors, eh?
Yeah.
That's when I found out that, and I keep seeing it online. I was, that they always show that clip of Israel, kicking it. I was like, man, this is only half the story, bro. You don't know the background story to that.
So Israel's so grateful to Patti that night because it wouldn't have been a complete king in the ring for him if he only had 2 fights,
And for Israel to take it easy on him would have been disrespectful.
Yeah.
So that's why he went hundreds on Patti. And Patti took it like a man, bro.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of respect for that dude for doing that.
Yeah, me too, man. it was I was training, but I was on the promoter side as well. Eh?
So, Jace, just tell us about your journey, sort of, with Wim Hof and that whole method. What's it all about?
What's it all about? Okay, so 3 pillars: mindset, which I love, mindset, breathing, and cold therapy. All of them involve mindset.
Yes.
Right. Getting in the cold involves mindset. Doing it involves mindset, and just to do it every day involves mindset. But so it's perfect for me.
Yeah.
And I love the fucking cold part because not many people want to get in the cold.
No.
So it's a challenge to me. It's a challenge. So I love the challenge and I love achieving something. And now I don't get my brains knocked out. So
sure.
that's my new fight.
Yep.
So I like that. But you get a physiological buzz and benefit out of it. So it's a 2-in-1 for me. So mainly it's the mental for me.
Yeah.
I just like, fuck, can I handle this? Is anyone else doing it? Are you doing it? No, you're not going to do it. So I like that.
Yeah.
But then there's all the science that you learn behind it and you realise, well, shit, this stuff is really, really good. And I've lived it and breathed it. So I can tell you shitloads of science, but I can just tell you what I've lived. It's amazing, man.
Yeah.
And I've chased it. July 2017, August. Yeah, I'm over 3 years now, and I miss it maybe once. I miss the breathing maybe once a month, maybe.
Yep.
And I do it every morning. I've been doing cold showers most days of the week for 3 years now.
Yeah.
Now I get in the freezer probably for the last year. I jump in the ice maybe 5 times a week, 6 times a week now.
Yeah.
I just like, so I'll get in, you set your timer and you'll get in. Okay, so it's always a challenge every day, man.
Yeah.
I'll get in and I'll go, get out. Okay, check the timer. Get jump. Did you push it up? But I know I pushed it up. But you're doubting yourself because you just want to get up to warm yourself up a little bit. Yeah. And I'll go, no, just hold on. You know you set the timer. You know the timer. I'll go, can you have a look at the timer, please? Because I just want to know it's going to end in 3 minutes, you know.
Longest.
And then boom, and then it goes. And so you get a buzz, because you're getting a shock to your system working out.
Yeah.
But you just fulfilled something. You achieved something. You achieved however long you think you're going to get in the freezer. So it's a self fulfillment for me. Yeah. And I'll come to the gym and the freezer just talks to me. No one can hear it, but it's talking. You're scared. He's scared today. I don't want to get it. It's cold today. Okay, man, I'm coming. Yeah. So I like the self achievement.
Yep.
And I know all the benefits. Nice. I know all the benefits. I live it. I feel it. Yeah, it's amazing. And let me tell you, if you're a fighter and you know about this method and you're not doing it, I don't think you're smart. Because man, this is everything at once. Increase your VO2 max, increase your white blood cells. Yeah. When you're always getting smashed after when you're training 4, 5, 6 weeks, twice a day, you just go down because your immune system goes down. This is a way to boost your immune system every week through the breathing and the ice. Yeah. Strengthen your brain for any kind of situation, because every time you strengthen your brain in one way or another, it gets a little bit stronger, a little bit stronger, a little bit stronger, right? Yeah.
How did you find out about Wim Hof?
I was just getting tattooed.
I
was getting tattooed and it was good because this guy always used to put on podcasts and documentaries. So I'll go through some pain and grow my brain at the same time. Hey, I didn't mean that to rhyme, but it did. Go through some. So, and then I just saw him, and I just saw this old white fella swimming in the ice, and I thought, "Fucking hell, that's tough." Because he's not even freaking out. And I said to the teachers, I said, "What is this?" He goes, "Yeah, you just got to give a cold shower for 3 minutes." I was like, "Okay," but. It took me 3 days in hot in 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Then by the third day I was doing 3 minutes. Yeah. And I went to a few students straight away and I said, "Hey man, you guys got to do cold showers, man. Strengthen your brain." And I had a few of them straight away. They're doing it. They're doing it. Because that's a doorway to strengthen your own brain. Just get in the cold shower. Yeah. Then about 2 weeks later, I googled Wim Hof. I had no idea who he was, and I was doing it. I was following him. And then I thought, oh fuck, this guy's pretty amazing. Yeah. Saw I had 26 Guinness Book of Records. Yep. Wim Hof method. There was an app you could buy for $6 then. Okay. So I bought the app. I did the breathing. I started the breathing, the push-ups every day. I was doing 40 push-ups every day. Exhale. Hold your breath.
Hold your breath and then,
push up. I did 40 every day for probably the first 2 years, and now I do them a few times a week. And then there's a 10-week online course. I did a 10-week online course. I did another 10-week online course, and then there was a workshop that Wim Hof was running in Australia. But anyway, from doing these 2 10-week online courses, I got accepted to do the advanced, which was in Holland for 2 days, and I was like, oh fuck, that's a lot of money. You had to pay for it, to pay your airfare, had to get all this time away from my family and my gym. Yep. So I was like, nah, it's not that great. I mean, it's great, I'm doing it anyway. Yeah. But I went to this workshop, and Wim Hof took it. He's amazing, drove there, took the breathing, you held your breath longer than you ever did, but there was a scientist there. Yes. And the scientist was telling you everything that's happening in your body, who's like some big scientist who was kind of against Wim at first, but then he said, fuck, but then I just we tested him. Yeah. We tested him and it works. And he was telling me, and I thought, fuck, for my family, because there's benefits for my family, for my gym, I got to follow this right. So I went home, jumped on my phone, tried to book the advance. No, sorry, Jason, it's full. No, sorry, it's full. I had 3 emails. I emailed them every day for a week. Yep. Emailed them every day. No, sorry, Jason, we're adamant. No, sorry, Jason, it's full. No, it's full. No, it's full. It's sold out last year. okay, Jason, you can come.
Perseverance.
Yeah, man. And then I went.
Nice.
Yeah, then I went and followed it to the end, man.
Have you listened to him on Joe Rogan?
Yep.
He's an interesting preacher, eh?
Yeah, man.
So fascinating to listen to him. And
yeah.
the things he says, it almost sounds unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like wandering around mountain ranges
Yes.
and just his undies and
Yeah.
like high altitude and
Yeah.
surviving.
Yeah.
One of my, a guy I know, I call him a friend actually, his name's Simon Freeman. He's doing a lot of
Yes, Simon Freeman, the swimmer.
long distance swimming.
Yes.
He comes along a lot.
He did my course with me.
Yeah. He loves it, bro.
Nice.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, he was just down at Queenstown,
Yeah.
and there's that big waterfall in Milford Sounds.
Was there him in there?
There's him in there, bro.
Oh, damn, I saw that.
He's swimming in there. And
Oh,
I reckon
yeah,
that's
awesome.
Down to, because he doesn't wear a wetsuit.
Yeah.
He just jumps in and,
Yeah.
another crazy Samoan.
Yeah.
But I watch his stuff as well for inspiration.
Awesome.
I always like to get my inspiration from,
Yeah.
from our people. You know what I mean? And I see that guy swimming in that thing, and I remember him attending your
Yes,
course.
it was a
and I'm
big waterfall and he's there.
yeah, there's some. It's freezing down there.
Yeah.
But he must be using your techniques.
Yeah.
Oh, obviously, he's a tough dude as well.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
you know, and I was like, man, that Wim Hof thing must be really working for this guy because he's swimming in freezing cold water, bro.
Hard.
And he's swimming a long way.
And he swims a long time.
Long time.
Too, yeah.
Okay.
He, the good thing with him as well is he goes back to Samoa and swims in Suttie
Yeah.
with some special needs kids. He
Really?
teaches them to swim and he swims around over there. He teaches
Oh,
them how to
man.
swim and how to swim long distance. Yeah, he's a beautiful man,
Cool.
bro. He's an inspiring
Awesome.
fellow as well. So but,
Have you got any workshops coming up?
Yep.
Teaching?
Yes, I have. Man, so October, I got 2nd of October, King in the Ring.
Yes. Yeah.
3rd of October, my son's birthday.
Yes.
10th of October, Ludus Magnus. And then I've got the 16th, 17th of October in Petone. I'll do a woman's only one.
Oh, nice.
I'll do a mixed men and female in the morning, and then I'll do a woman's only in the evening.
Yep.
And then the following week, I'm going to New Plymouth. But they've kept this, they're only doing it through their members, so they booked 6 with me and I'll close it.
Mm.
So that's through Jesse Puata, if you want to jump on that one. And then the following week, I'm going to go to Marlborough Sounds, and I think I'm doing on the same day a woman's and a mixed one as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Plenty coming up.
Yeah.
Are you the official Wim Hof?
I think there's 7 New Zealand instructors,
Nice.
but I think there's only myself, Nigel Beach, and Laura. What's Laura's second name? She came and studied under me. So I think there's 3 of us that are
Nice.
that are practicing here.
Yes.
But I think there was 7 in total. But you've got to renew it every year.
I do.
So I know that these 3 are, and Nigel is probably the first of us. Nigel Beach, he's probably the first Wim Hof instructor, and he's the personal friend of Wim. I think Wim actually come and stayed with him years ago too. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So I've done a lot with Nigel. I learnt under him. He mentored me, helped me out, and then I took him with me to do 2 workshops in Australia, and I'm bringing them on with me to do Ludus.
Wow.
On the 10th of October, so that will be a really good one because he comes from he's like he's a physiotherapist. He's helped the All Blacks, helped the Wallabies. So and he goes a lot on mental stress, and I go for fitness and the gains that for sportsmen to gain and your immune system. So we're a good combination.
Great combination. All right. Also, look, man, really appreciate your time, and we could talk to you all night. To be honest.
Cool, man. Thank you.
We could talk to you all night, but Jake, anything to say in closing to?
Yeah, just again a big Kapkun Krap to you.
Kapkun Krap.
Yeah, again, really inspiring, really great to have you on. And I guess, for us, just being able to share your story, but also your connections to things like the Wim Hof method, because again, I think that's something that can really help our people. Yeah, anyone that's willing to, sure, they can come and persevere and get through that. So awesome, bro. Thank you so much.
Sure could.
There's so many things that could help our people that you are involved in, the fitness and the confidence that you get from learning how to defend yourself with your kickboxing. Your breathing. You're a bit of a hidden gem in our community.
And I like the young kids, like if said to me, "Oh, he's getting like scrappy." I said, "Oh, bring him in, man. It saved me, man. I just wish I had it younger because it would have saved me a lot of fights in school."
But you wouldn't be here, though.
If I had learned it earlier. I just like learning, getting confident, and learning how to fight taught me how not to fight.
Yeah. Well, from my perspective, also, you know, I'm very humbled that you came out to spend some time with us. I've known of you, and I've been in circles that you have been in circles of. For a long
time. We played in the same team
since the 90s. The same boys, you know, and like I say, those boys they're tough boys too, and they speak very highly and have, you know, a lot of respect for you, and they always talked about you and the legend that you, the urban legend that you are also, and it's good. I'm really happy that we could finally sit down and have a chat and listen to your different levels, bro. You got levels everywhere.
Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me.
That's an amazing life you're living, also. You got to start your movie, bro. Really appreciate you being here. As I always sign off, all love, no hate. Whārai ia.